Hi, my name is Rahul. Today we are discussing about heat. Introduction. In chapter 3 you have learned that woolen cloths are made from fibers. You also learned that cotton cloths are made from plant fibers. We wear woolen cloths during winter when it is cold outside. Woolen cloths keep us warm. We prefer to wear light colored cotton cloths when it is hot. These give us a feeling of coolness. You might have wondered why particular types of clothes are suitable for a particular season. In winter, you feel cold inside the house. If you come outside in the sun, you feel warm in summer, you feel hot even inside the house. How do we know whether an object is hot or cold? How do we find out how hot or cold an object is? In this chapter, we shall try to seek answers to some of these questions. Hot and cold. In our daily day to day life, we come across a number of objects. Some of them are hot and some of them are cold. Tea is hot and ice is cold. List some objects used commonly in this table. Mark this object as hot or cold. Do not touch which are hot. Be careful while handling a candle flame or a stove. Act. See, now let us find out by doing an activity. Activity 1. Take 3 small tubes or containers, label them as A, B, C. Put cold water in mug A and hot water in mug B. Mix some cold and hot water in mug C. Now dip your left hand in mug A and the right hand in mug B. After keeping the hands in the two mugs for 2 to 3 minutes, put both the hands in mug C. Do both hands get same feeling now? Measuring now. Buju's confusion shows that we cannot always rely on our sense of touch to decide whether an object is hot or cold. Some it may deceive us. Then, how do we find out how hot an object really is? A reliable measure of the hotness of an object is its temperature. Temperature is measured by a device is called thermometer. Now measuring thermometer. Have you seen thermometer? Recall that when you or someone else in your home, someone had fever, the temperature was measured by a thermometer. The thermometer that measures our body temperature is called clinical thermometer. See, this is clinical thermometer. Reading a thermometer. Now, I want to tell something. Hold the thermometer in your hand and examine it carefully. If you do not have a thermometer, request your friend to share it with you. A clinical thermometer looks like the one shown in figure. In that figure, a clinical thermometer consists of a long, narrow, uniform glass tube. It has a bulb at one end. This bulb contains mercury. Outside the bulb, a small shining thread of mercury can be kept. If you do not see the mercury thread, rotate the thermometer a bit till you see it. You will also find a scale on the thermometer. The scale we use is the Celsius scale indicated by the Celsius. Now, reading a Thermometer. Let us learn how to read a thermometer. First, note the temperature differences indicate between two bigger marks. Also note down the number of divisions means shown by smaller marks between these marks. Suppose bigger mark read 1 degree and there are 5 divisions between them. Then one small division can be 1 by 5 means 0.2 degrees Celsius. The normal temperature of the human body is 37 Celsius. And precaution to be observed while using a clinical thermometer. I tell thermometer should be washed before and after use, preferably with an antiseptic solution. Ensure the before use the mercury level is below 35 degrees Celsius. Read the thermometer keeping the level of mercury along the line of sight. Handle the thermometer with care. If it hits against some hard objects, it can be break. Do not hold the thermometer by the bulb while reading it. Let us try to assure Paheli that there is nothing wrong with her. Paheli measured her body temperature. She got worried as it was not exactly 37 degrees Celsius. Let's know. Measure the body temperature of some of your friends, at least 10, with a clinical thermometer. Record your observation as in table 4.2. Is the body temperature of every person 37 degrees Celsius? The temperature of every person may not be 37 degrees Celsius. It could be slightly higher or slightly lower. Actually, what we call normal temperature is the average body temperature of large number of healthy persons. The clinical thermometer is designed to measure the temperature of human body only. The temperature of human body normally does not go below 35 degrees Celsius or above 42 degrees Celsius. That is a reason that thermometer has range 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. Caution. Do not use a clinical thermometer for measuring the temperature of any object other than the human body. Also avoid keeping the thermometer in the sun or near a flame. It may break. Now we talk about laboratory thermometer. How do we measure the thermometer of other object? For this purpose, there are other thermometer. One such thermometer is known as the laboratory thermometer. The teacher will show you this thermometer. Look at it carefully and note the highest and lowest temperature it can measure. The range of a laboratory thermometer is generally from minus 10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. Also, as you did in the case of the clinical thermometer, find out how much a small division on this thermometer is. You would need this information to read the thermometer correctly. Let us now learn how this thermometer is used. Let's do one activity. Take some tap water in a beaker or a mug. Dip the thermometer in water so that the bulb is immersed in water but does not touch the bottom or the sides of the container. Hold the thermometer vertically. Observe the movements of mercury in the thermometer. Wait till the mercury thread becomes steady. Measuring. See, this is a laboratory thermometer. Note the reading. This is the temperature of water at that time. Compare the temperature of water recorded by each student in the class. Are there any variation in the readings? Discuss the possible reasons. Let us find try to answer this question. So now we will do one activity. Take some hot water in a beaker or a mug. Dip the thermometer in water. Wait till the mercury thread becomes steady. And note the temperature. Now take out the thermometer from water. Observe carefully what happens now. Do you notice that as soon as you take the thermometer out of water, the level of mercury begins to fall? This means that temperature must be read while the thermometer is in water. You may recall that while taking your own temperature, you have to take the thermometer out of your mouth to note the reading. Can you then use the laboratory thermometer to measure your body temperature? Obviously, it is not convenient to use the laboratory thermometer for this purpose. Why does the mercury not fall or rise in a clinical thermometer when taken out of the mouth? Observe a clinical thermometer again. Do you see a kink near the bulb? What is the use of the kink? It prevents mercury level from falling on its own. There is a lot of concern over the use of mercury in thermometer. Mercury is a toxic substance and is very difficult to dispose of if a thermometer breaks. These days, digital thermometers are available which do not use mercury. Transfer of heat. Transfer of heat. You might see that frying pan become hot when it is kept on a flame. It because of that heat passes from the flame to utensil. When pan is removed from the fire, it slowly cools down. Why does it cool down? The heat transfer from the pan to the surroundings, so you can understand that in both cases the heat flows from a hotter object to cooler object. In all cases, heat flows from a hotter object to a cooler object. In this process, by which the heat transferred from the hotter end to the cooler end of an object is known as conduction. The materials which are now we do an experiment. Take a rod or a flat strip of metal, say of aluminium or iron. Fix a few small wax pieces on the rod. These pieces should be at nearly equal distances. Clamp the rod to a stand. If you do not find a stand, you can put an end of the rod in between the bricks. Now heat the other end of the rod and observe what happens to the wax. Do these pieces begin to fall? Which pieces falls the first? Do you think that it is transferred from the end nearest to the flame to the other end? The process by which heat is transferred from the hotter end to the colder end of an object called conduction. In solids, generally, heat is transferred by the process of conduction. Do all substances conduct heat easily? You must have observed that the metallic pan for cooking has a plastic or wooden handle. Can you lift a hot pan by holding it from the handle without getting hot? So now we do an activity. Heat water in a small pan or a beaker. Collect some articles such as steel, spoon, plastic scale, pencil or divider. Dip one end of each of these articles in hot water. Wait for a minute. Touch the other end, enter your observation. The materials which allow heat to pass through them easily are known as conductors. The materials which do not allow heat to pass through easily are poor conductor of heat, such as plastic or heat, are known as insulators. The water and air are poor conductor of heat. When the water is get heated, the water near the flame gets hot. Hot water rises up, the hot water from the sides moves down. This process continues till the whole water gets heated. This mode of heat transfer is known as convection. Now we do an activity. Light a candle, keep one hand above the flame and one hand on the side of the flame. Do your hands feel equally hot? If not, which hand feels hotter and why? Be careful, keep your hands at safe distance from the flame so that they do not get burnt. Notice that towards the top the air gets heated by convection, therefore the hand above the flame feels hot. On the sides, however, there is no convection and air does not feel as hot as at top. The people living in the coastal areas experience an interesting phenomenon. During the day, the land gets heated faster than the water. The air over the land becomes hotter and rises up. The cooler air from the sea rushes in towards the land to take its place. The warm air from the land moves towards the sea to complete the cycle. The air from the sea is called the sea breeze. To receive the cooler sea breeze, the windows of the houses in coastal areas are made to face the sea. At night it is exactly the reverse. The water cools down more slowly than the land. So the cooler air from the land moves towards the sea. This is called land breeze. When we come out in the sun, we feel warm. How does we feel warm? How does we the heat from the sun reach us? It cannot reach us by conduction or convection, as there is no medium such as air in most part of the space between the earth and the sun. From the sun, the heat comes to us by another process known as radiation. The transfer of heat by radiation does not require any medium. It can take place whether a medium is present or not. When we sit in front of a room heater, we get heat by the process. A hot utensil kept away from the flame cools down as it transfers heat to the surrounding by radiation. Our body gives heat to the surroundings and receives heat from it by radiation. All hot bodies radiate heat. When the heat falls on some object, a part is reflected. A part is absorbed and a part may be transmitted. The temperature of the object increases due to the absorbed part of the heat. Why are you advised to use an umbrella when you go out in the sun? Kinds of clothes we wear in summer. Now I tell something. Kinds of clothes we wear in summer and winter. You know that in summer we prefer light colored clothes and in winter we usually wear dark colored clothes. Why is it so? Let us find out. We do an activity. Take two identical tin cans, paint the outer surface of one black and of the one other white. Pour equal amounts of water in each and leave them in the midday sun for about an hour. Measure the temperature of water in both of cans. Do you find any differences in temperatures? In which can is the water warmer? You can feel the difference even by touching the water in the two cans. Now another activity. Fill the two cans used in activity before we do with the same amount of hot water or the same temperature, say at 60 degrees Celsius. Leave the cans in a room. or in a shade. Note the temperature of water after 10 to 15 minutes. Does the temperature of water in both games fall by the same amount? Do these activities suggest to you the reason why it is more comfortable to wear white or light color clothes in the summer and dark color clothes in winter? Dark surfaces absorb more heat and therefore we feel comfortable with dark colored clothes in the winter. Light colored clothes reflect the most of the heat that falls on them and therefore we feel more comfortable wearing them in the summer. Now, so we know that woolen cloths keep us warm in winter. In the winter, we use woolen cloths. Wool is a poor conductor of heat. Moreover, there is air trapped in between the wool fibers. This air prevents the flow of heat from our body to the cold surroundings. So we feel warm. Suppose you are given the choice in winter of using either one thick blanket or two thin blankets joined together. What would you choose and why? Remember that there would be a layer of the air in between the blankets. So now we learnt about the heat. Thank you. Please subscribe this channel.